I was wild, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to sit here and snivel and cry. It really was beautiful. Thank you very much. I'm not quite sure where this is going to go. I had it all planned out, but we've talked about so many changes and so many differences, so we'll just take this journey together. We were in class yesterday, and I was talking to Angie afterwards, and to me, the benefit of having 4 different speakers or 5 different speakers a month is that what we're actually doing is having a conversation about whatever the topic is. The same as if we were sitting around the table like we do in class and talk about it. So you get all these different viewpoints and different ideas to then go out and figure out what it is that you believe or what your truth is or what works for you, which I think is one of the greatest gifts that we give here. Because not knowing, not having a definition is okay. We don't know the whys of all that happens. We don't know the wherefores, necessarily how it works. We have theories. We think we know, believe in reincarnation, doesn't believe in reincarnation. Believes this way, doesn't believe this way. And it's all okay, but we need to figure out. The gift is figuring out what it is for you. What works in life for you and what makes it okay. So when I think about the topics of this month and I think about change, I remember years ago wallowing about something, being sniffling and depressed and everything, and my mom saying, "This too shall pass." Change is the only constant there is. We can always bet and know that circumstances, our life, whatever it is, will change. And I thought about that in the big picture. Weather changes. The earth changes. I remember, I used to read the books and I can't remember who wrote them. They were always thick and small print, but like the first third of the book was on the land of wherever the story was placed. And it was the history of the land. How mountains rose and mountains fell and, floods and changes and what was a beach is now a river. And you went through the whole thing and it gave you this big awe for this wonderful world we live on. But it changes. We change. We were sniveling babies in diapers, and then we were toddlers causing trouble, and then we were teens really causing trouble. And then we went out and tried to be grown up, and then we had kids and tried to be good parents, and it just goes on and on. Life is full of changes. That's one of the big things that when they talk about living in the now, how do you deal with the changes? Do you worry about them? Do you anticipate them? So when they spent all these books and time and lectures and articles and everything on it, it was because it was so important to having a chance at a good life without the worries and without carrying your garbage around forever, about forgiving yourself and blessing yourself and being able to move forward. So when we talk about change today, I want to talk about it for ourselves. It's hard to change. We get stuck in our ways. We live in the muck because that's comfortable, or we live in luxury because that's comfortable for it. Whatever it is, we get comfortable. We're miserable, we're in addiction, we're happy, we're doing good things. Whatever it is, that's what things are. We have control then. We know when it's going to happen. We know. It went off again?
Yep.
It's going off and on.
The light's off too.
Yeah, the battery
Okay.
may be dying.
Yep.
I'll scream. I can be mom, for those who remember mom.
Use the microphone.
I can
Or
do
the
that,
microphone, yeah.
You were just talking about change.
There's change.
This is change. Now let's hope I don't trip. But change is scary. And scary means we have to risk. You got to step up. You got to get up in the morning. When I came out of addiction, they wanted big changes. I grew up very inter-oriented. We were on a ranch, and summer we weren't going to town, and we weren't doing that. So it was a lot of time alone. My mom and I didn't get along, so I spent a lot of time grounded. So that was a lot of alone time. So I didn't have easy social skills. It wasn't easy for me to go up and start a conversation or just chat and be able to share. Sometimes it's still difficult. It's a learned skill for me. But coming out of addiction, the first big risk was, well, going and getting help. That was big. Then we were in the group, and I couldn't talk because you weren't supposed to share stuff. You know, you kept your stuff to yourself. You definitely didn't let the issues get out to the public. And I swear to God, it wasn't until this big gang member, tattoos everywhere, dressed like the gang people. I mean, tough. I wouldn't want to meet him in an alley with lights, let alone a dark alley. And that was judging, of course. But he got up and started talking and was able to cry. And I thought, damn, if he can do it, I can do it. And that was the first breakthrough I had of being able to actually share true feelings, what I really felt. And then, of course, the fear came, because every time you risk, you double think yourself, oh, what are they going to think of me? What did I say? What if somebody I know hears? But you condition yourself to it. Every week it got easier. Now I blubber really easily, and it's easy to share. But it wasn't always. I had to risk, and I had to risk that people were going to judge me. I had to risk that they would think less than of me. You know, we all want people to think well of us. We all want them to think we're smart and brilliant, we look good, all those lovely things that they want to be our friends. But you worry about it. You know, driving home when all the second guesses are going through your mind, or as Angie says, the guilt. What'd you call it? Church of everlasting guilt or something? Yeah. We all do that. But that's part of the risking. We have to work through whatever is keeping us from having what it is that we want. How many of us have forgotten our dreams? We had dreams when we were kids, what we wanted to be when we grew up. And then we have the different roads and the roadblocks and the learning and just so many different things. Mine was I got pregnant in high school. Boy, did that switch my life. It meant that I didn't go to Radcliffe. I didn't do a lot of things that I had planned to do. That's change. That one came, I think, through prayer, because when you pray, a lot of times you get what you ask for. And someone to love me was my daughter. I got what I wanted the most, that unconditional love from a baby. And there's nothing more healing than that, so I wouldn't give my daughter up. I was gifted with her joy, with her beingness. But that meant that a lot of plans went by the road. So you can see the fear. What's the fear? You know, parents want you to go to college. They want you to be successful. You're supposed to have all these initials after your name and bring home big bucks. And how do you go against the conditioning of a lifetime? So it's scary. And when you're scared, you don't risk. I wouldn't have voluntarily gotten out and gotten pregnant. It's something that happened in the moment. So when we sit there and we're looking around, having a pity party, or bemoaning what's going on in our lives, or wishing it could be different, we are the only power of change in our life. We are the only one that can do anything at all. No one else can make you do it. We've all been stubborn, we've all rebelled, we've all said, oh, watch this. But doing it is a risk. I'm here as an example to tell you that risking is a good thing. Risking makes a difference. If I hadn't learned to talk and to share, I wouldn't have the friends that I have. If I hadn't learned to share, all my love wouldn't have done any good, because it wouldn't have gone anywhere. Love needs to flow and flow in and out. If I was still all defensive and tied up, that wouldn't happen. Risking is good. Afraid to fly? But boy, if you can get on an airplane, think of all the places you can go in a day. All people you can see, the sights you can see. Ask Chris. He goes to the most beautiful places on earth, and we see his pictures on Facebook, and they're gorgeous. But he risks to travel, to go to countries where he doesn't know the language, where he doesn't know what the food's going to taste like, doesn't know what the weather's going to be like, doesn't know if he's going to get sick because maybe he didn't have the right inoculation. All of those fears that he put aside, and look at him. He smiles. You're smiling right now. You smile when you talk about the places you've been. It brings you joy and happiness. That's what risk can bring you. Joy and happiness. Things aren't going well in your life. You got depression going on. You're sick. Whatever it is, people can't help you if you don't let them know. You've got to risk and share. You know what? No matter what we teach you, we all get sick. What we're teaching here are tools that can help you. Tools that are worth it. But that doesn't mean that we're not human and we don't have environmental things go on. We're all works in progress. We all have days that don't work, or projects that don't work, or things that don't manifest right away. It takes divine right timing. It needs to come at the time we're ready for it. If I got it right now, it wouldn't work, maybe. Maybe it would work if it came right now, so it does. Allowing ourselves to not micromanage everything. Allowing divine right action. That's risk. Letting go of control. That's a hard one sometimes. I like to know where my day's going and what I'm going to do. I've noticed sometimes you want to do it spontaneous. Yeah, I don't have a reason for not doing it, but I'm feeling kind of uncomfortable, so let me think about it a minute, and then I can do it. But it still takes, it's not an immediate, yes, let's run do that. I still need a lot of control. I like things in certain places, I like my piles. I know what's in my piles. Don't move my piles, please. Don't go eat on me, because then I don't know where anything is. My daughter used to, when I lived with her, would place things so I couldn't find them on purpose and have fun. I'd have to climb up on counters and go through cabinets, and she'd just sit there and giggle and wouldn't tell me where it was. She'd do it on purpose, put it in a new place. God, she was fun. But allow something different in your life. You might like it. You know what's exciting? Taking home some flowers. Something pretty. I went to get groceries at the grocery outlet place, and they had these big suns outside. I don't know if you saw them. It's a gigantic thing that goes on the wall. I was going to put it outside, but now I got it inside looking at it, and I'm thinking there's a wall that might go on inside where I'd see it every day. But something different. Different is good. But then, at the same time, as we talked in class, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We also need family. We need traditions. We need our culture. That's what grounds us. That holds us together as a community. So you don't have to change everything, but I don't like boring. I want a little something going on in my life. So I am starting to look with anticipation that's good in a way to adventure. To seeing new things, doing new things, trying new things. I'm a wimp when it comes to heat, but my sister's got me eating some different things now that I just don't ask for, you get the mild with the 1 pepper instead of 3. I got it so I can handle that. But for years, I wouldn't even go into those restaurants. Think of what I was missing. I've come to the conclusion that as I pass from this world, I don't want to have a big list of things I haven't tried or haven't done. Whether it's a bucket list, whether it's another list, there's still a couple countries I'd like to go to, still some food I'd like to try, some pictures that I would like to have on the walls, a lot of different things. I'm on to my great-grandkids now, and I keep thinking I can't remember the names of just the grandkids, let alone the great-grandkids. I become my mom. I was okay till she called me Wayno. I was at least a girl. Give me a girl name. I don't care what it is. Call me a girl. But to all of them, they're joyful, and it makes everything different. A big change in my life was when we got to this era of extended families. If you wanted to see the kids on a holiday, I do it a week ahead of time. Because between them and their in-laws on both sides and everything they're trying to do, you can't get on that schedule if you want more than half an hour. So I changed that. So now Christmas is different. It's not the getting up in the morning and opening presents and the big breakfast and stuff. It's more with friends, or going down and being part of theirs, but it's different. I'm not at the center anymore. I'm not orchestrating it anymore. So we have these adjustments all through life. Change is a good thing. And that's not saying that something tragic happened and they're in a better place, or it's good for them, or there's a lesson here. We're always going to grieve through change, no matter what it is. Loss of a job, a divorce, all of that, there's going to be grief. We're not going to be, ecstatic, dancing, and happy about every change that happens. What we offer here is a way to change your perception about how you're seeing what's happening. Allow yourself to grieve, but then you go back to your life. I think the sadness is always there, but don't try and hold it in. Don't stuff it.